this video a special recipe against the Sicilian. So here I'm looking at chess.com and see what is the theory on the right side. Now the main move is knight f3, but Nc3 is well known, and after Nc6 you could do g3, that's the close Sicilian, but there are like more than 14,000 games around that. So that's still a well-known path. Now the Grand Prix Attack has slightly less game, but if I go in the beginning here, bishop g7, I can see still 4,000 game, so chances are the opponent with black will be prepared. Now you can see the two moves of bishop b5 and bishop c4. The problem with this move, and I look at that, is black will play knight d4. Let's continue a little bit. And here black will take on d5 with a fine game. Similarly, if black is prepared on bishop c4, this is what black should be prepared to do. And here you take knight a5, threatening to take, and knight c6 with the plan knight d4, b6, and black is fine. If you're trying to attack with bishop g5, you have f6, and if you're trying to attack with queen e1, you can see that you can either have knight d4 or even b6. And let's say on queen g3, which is logical, boom, knight d4, and you're kind of trying to attack here, but it's not really working. So let's just see that. And now queen h4, and who is attacking who? And this position, black has beautiful bishops, and you're not getting anywhere. So in the game, they play the endgame, but if anything, I like the endgame better for black because you have two very nice bishops and better pawn structure, right? So only black can win in this position. Therefore, I was looking to see what should I play here. Now you can play g3 as well, and that would be very similar to a close Sicilian. It's kind of a hybrid if you ask me. So here what I did is ask Stockfish, which move would Stockfish play here? And to my surprise, Stockfish 15, the latest and greatest, is advocating to play a4. So now, very interesting. So that you can see on the top right, if I remove that and go back, of course that move has been tried, but only 18 times. And you can see here that a6 is the main move, and black is doing fine. But wait a minute. You can see that bishop c4 and g3 were being played. Stockfish, when I show you the main, thinking after depth 30, is not developing the bishop to c4. Instead, it's playing d3, bishop e2, castle, queen e1, queen h4. And this is a plan I want to show you. Despite on screen not showing a lot of promise with only one game, it's a very dangerous plan for black. To my surprise, Magnus Carlsen have been using this idea in a rapid game against Vidit online. Now, the opening was a bit different. It started with g3. They transposed into a Sicilian. And now we have this position looking similar to what I was showing. So here, a4 is not played, but simply bishop e2. And here Carlsen play bishop g1, controlling c2, and the bishop is active, and maybe the queen will come here with some attack on the king side. Let's look at this further. Queen h4, very nice. Can see some attacking patterns. And now he plays a4. The idea is to prevent black from expanding on the queen side. And then he has a nice rook lift, trying to activate his pieces. Finally, he played f5. Why f5? Trying to open up the f file. And of course, you're going to have bishop g5, queen h4, bishop h6 with a very strong attack. So the game continued. And I don't want to spend too much time because it's not the main order. But as you can see, now white is up a piece, but the key move was f6, right? Trying to attack and having a great initiative, attacking multiple pieces at the same time. So we kind of have an idea that this bishop e2 and bishop d1 could be useful. Let's see now the exact move order I recommend using Stockfish 15. So this is the move order. Nc3, we start with the Grand Prix Attack. From here we play a4. So now I'm gonna make some moves so that I can just display the main idea. So a6 is the main move. So one of an idea we've seen in the Carlsen game, if the knight comes here, the bishop come back on d1. Also, if the knight comes on d4, I could also play bishop d1. Now, the next idea would be queen g3. Now, I can come here because my bishop is defending here. Now, by playing a4, black doesn't have b5, because then I would take here and win. So, if the game were to continue, what would I do? Well, I could think of f5 here, or maybe h4, h5, attacking here. I can also play a5 to lock down the queen side. Finally, I could do bishop e3 and develop and my pieces. So I'm trying to attack on the king side, trying to lock down as much as possible the play. Obviously here, let's say if the king h1, black would try rook b8 and try to push over here, but my knight can come back and I can also play f5 and bishop g5. So the plan is very clear. When we start in this position, the bishop goes to e2, and we're going to try to attack with the queen coming on the dark squares. Now, let's present the main idea using a game between Stockfish 15, the latest and greatest version of Stockfish, and Komodo, a weaker engine. So here, knight b4 was played, and here let's see queen c7, logical. So now we have a very clear plan, playing f5 and bishop h6. So black tried to exchange a few pieces. Now the knight is coming to d4, but it's no big deal. Rook h3, and we're putting some pressure on the king side. So in order to avoid, let's say knight d4, you could also do e5 to attack, or f5 would be very strong, or knight d5 would be also an idea. You have many different ways to go in this position. But in order to avoid that pressure here, black play h5. So here, f5, logical. And we're attacking here. Not only is the bishop here defending c2, it's also attacking here and supporting a move like g4 as well. So the sack is very effective because if we take with the pawn, then we could just crash through the king side. So of course, Komodo take with the knight. But now we have a crushing initiative. g4. And if the knight come here, not only we can take, but also we have queen h7 coming. And here, black resign, you have a lot of material for white, pawns and piece, and you're winning. Now, in this position here, instead of queen c7, which is a bit slow, a better move was bishop d7. But then I can show you very quickly the game unfolded a little bit the same way. Once again, same idea. And now the key move, g4. Now clearly, we want to open up because then we're going to have a very strong attack. And in the game, black tried to refrain from opening up. And now we have huge pressure on the G file. Once again, 95, and black has absolutely no counterplay. This is plus 4 pawns. We need to go further. So I think this illustrates this plan of going with the queen on h4, playing f5, and winning comfortably. Now, the other thing I want to point out is in this position, I've been showing a6, but maybe black can play e6 and not try to play that move, right? To save a tempo. So here e5 is very strong because we're trying to do knight e4 coming to d6. So black will play d6 to counter that. And only now we play bishop b5. Now this is a good version of the bishop b5 variation because the knight here is attacking on the dark squares. Now it would be very dangerous for black to take because then we would have a huge initiative on the dark squares. So here the move is king h8. But now in the game that we're following, h4, beautiful because you cannot take, you will be crushing on the h file. So black tried to counterattack, but here h5, beautiful stuff, opening up and finishing up the king. This is a brilliancy. And now bishop h6, we're really closing in on the king. Now black resign. Obviously, you're going to have e takes f6, the queen coming to g5, rook h7, and you are winning here on move 20. So this sums up the preparation that I consider, which is starting with a4, playing a very simple plan, and attacking on the dark squares. Very easy to remember. I hope you enjoyed this video and the lines. Don't forget to drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you very much.